The meltdown continues, and I saw this actual email a couple of days ago, and the person who showed it to me says, "Hey, look at this." And I said, "Oh, wait, is this classified?" No, it's not classified. It's a unclassified email. It's basically a memo that was sent out after the election. Managing stress during the change. Biden-Harris State Department holds therapy session after Trump win. Now, I'm not aware of any sessions like this per se where I'm currently at. I have no ties to it. All I saw was the email. And I did ask this person a couple different times that, hey, they're like, no. Matter of fact, they were busy doing some other stuff. So they weren't in a specific place to glean this information. But let me turn some light on here. All right. Biden-Harris State Department organized an in-house therapy session for employees early Friday following Donald Trump's election victory, four sources with the knowledge of the meeting told Washington Free Beacon. Yes, I don't know, and that email didn't say any meetings, but there could have been a following email that I wasn't privy to, which is fine, whatever, but yes. But I did read this exact thing. Managing stress during change, read the internal State Department email sent across the agency that encouraged employees to attend a 1-hour session in which they could discuss the feelings about Tuesday's election results. Again, this was not in the email, or actually I think it was a text message that came out. So again, I saw the initial text message. There was probably an email that came after this. The department's Employee Consultation Services and the Bureau of Medical Services hosted the session according to the copy of the email notice described by sources with a Free Beacon. It says, change is a constant in our lives. I saw this specific wording, but it can often bring about stress and uncertainty. Join us for an insightful webinar where we delve into the effective stress management techniques and help you navigate these challenging times. The session will provide tips and practical strategies for managing stress, maintaining well-being. Okay. Imagine, if you will, you're an adult and an election doesn't go your way. And what happens? You got it. You freak out and you do a cry closet. Amazing. These people, by the way, are taxpayers and have gone to a 4-year university. And they have to manage stress and go to webinar. Holy smokes. The session was led by a licensed clinical provider. A second one is scheduled for November 13th, according to the email notice. State Department's Bureau of Near Eastern Affairs, which oversees American diplomacy and the war-torn Middle East, also held a group discussion Friday with the Assistant Secretary of State for Near Eastern Affairs, Barbara Leaf, and Acting Undersecretary for Political Affairs, John Bass, according to these three sources briefed on the matter. And by the way, those people are not going to be in those jobs come about another 90 days. They're going to be, potentially, of course. I don't know the political persuasion, but you can imagine the State Department is rife with anyone left of Pol Pot, Lenin, and Stalin. Not everybody, but a lot of them are. And there's always if you just go online and just look at, you can go to Reddit about people who work for the State Department. They're always cynical. They're always backstabbing for the most part. Not always, but they're backstabbers. They jump on people's shoulders and kick them down, close door behind them, it's all about upward mobility through the ranks, if you will. They don't have ranks, they have like G levels, like G13, G14, stuff like that, I think what it is. But yeah, so one source described the meeting as a cry session over Trump's victory, which is likely to usher in a wholesale change at Foggy Bottom. Officials in the Bureau of Near Eastern Affairs have been working for months to sanction the Jewish government and withhold critical arms shipments, alleging Israel is not doing enough to provide humanitarian aid. Okay. They have said that they discussed the difficulty of Trump's victory and urge employees to share their feelings in private settings. Again, I got to mention this. I have not heard of any private meetings or anybody that could be. I'm just a person on the outside, and only information I got is open source and just my personal opinion on some people who do work in these alphabet agencies. Not all of them are bad. Even some who are on the left don't necessarily, wear their political leanings on their sleeve. They just want to do their job. They have families who want to work. But there are someone out there that wear their political leanings on their sleeve and who would do nothing more to put you down and find a way to backstab you and to upward mobilize themselves at your disservice or at your peril. For 4 years within the rank and file, there has been an overemphasized, let's quoting, emphasis on people's feelings and often with a college campus-like fervor rather than a work advancing American interests, one U.S. official with knowledge of the meetings told the Free Beacon. Says, this meeting was hopefully the last gasp of that, the source said, adding that there's a lot to un-F at the State Department 4 years of the Biden-Harris administration. And by the way, again, this is not someone from I'm close to that I heard about this, but there are people in there that this is secondary, tertiary sort of information I've received, just online sources and all that, that there's a lot of people there that don't like the way the direction of the State Department was for the last 4 years. Anthony Blinken is not the most lovable, likable person. But since he's politically left, of course everyone loves him who's politically left. The people who are just not, they sort of just grin and bear it and like, well, I got another 5 years for retirement, so I'm going to shut my face hole and continue on to my job. Which, by the way, it's not necessarily a bad thing. A second source briefed on the private discussion said it suggests the State Department is filled with partisan Democrats who are unwilling or unable to faithfully serve in the Trump administration. Absolutely. I've heard this 10, 12 years ago about the State Department, even before that. That there's a lot of people in there that just hate the country because they're leftists. They've gone to Georgetown, they've gone to Yale, all these Ivy League institutions where they're taught to just hate the country. Yeah, you can work for the government, but make sure it works for you first, then maybe, hopefully, not everybody, but a lot of people. The State Department did not respond to a request for comment on the matter. Undersecretary of State Anthony Blinken's leadership, the State Department has led the Biden-Harris administration drive to implement diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. Blinken formed the department's Office of Diversity and Inclusion in February 2021, shortly after the White House order instructed the entire federal government to ramp up DEI initiatives. State Department top DEI officials pulling in nearly $200K annually in taxpayer-funded salaries, according to the Free Beacon. The State Department also held in-house therapy sessions in May of 2023 after a system-wide email glitch assigned random and often incorrect pronouns to employees. Yes. If you do see an email, which I have not seen any myself, honestly, because I'm not in the State Department. I'm in the orbit, but not in it. You know what I mean? Yeah, they got upset because their incorrect pronoun. And by the way, yes, from what I understand, tertiary and secondary sources, there's email pronouns on everyone's email. It's not mandatory, but it's encouraged or heavily encouraged. The agency urged any employee who feels hurt or upset as a result of this unfortunate mistake to use his mental health services. So yeah, that's where we're at, folks. Boys and girls in Lazo Land. Our own State Department, adults in the State Department are upset because a certain political figure was elected and it didn't go their way. Now they need cry closets and a golden retriever to hug because apparently they're super sad. Now imagine, if you will, with this same sort of, sort of thing, sort of activity, sort of whatever, be applied to someone on the right. Probably not, because I suspect anybody on the right doesn't need a cry closet, doesn't need a back slap, a hug, a golden retriever to hug, to pet, because they got super sad. These are adults, folks, out there in Lazoland. These are adults who've gone to 4 years degree, who probably in Gen Xers and Boomers and Zillennials and Millennials who need a cry closet. Can you imagine that? If you're a Gen Xer out there and you're in after, quick story, when the Challenger exploded, it came over on the PA and said, yeah, the Challenger exploded. Okay, see you guys later, click. And you went back to work. You didn't need a cry closet, you just moved on. And these people out there in the State Department just need to move on. It didn't go your way, life sucks, get a hammock.